Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is going to be me introducing this new channel that I have created, which is Appa Creates. I just want to introduce myself before I post other videos on this channel. So my name is Appa. I actually live in upstate New York. I recently got into coloring. By recent I mean maybe about a year and a half ago. And it's not just coloring, but it's also like junk journaling, embroidery. I've been doing embroidery for a very long time, and I do have another channel which is more for beauty products on a budget. I talk about Bath and Body Works there. If you do want to check it out, I will link that here in the cards up here. But I wanted to create a different space where I can just talk about art supplies, coloring books, color alongs, junk journaling stuff, Ollie's, art supplies at Ollie's. So I just wanted a separate channel to do those types of videos. I love my other channel, but I wanted to share with you guys my other passions as well. So a little bit about me. I live in upstate New York. I've lived in the Midwest before, and how I kind of got into this art stuff is because here in upstate New York, I was living very much in like Canada pretty much. I think Canada was like maybe 40 miles away from where I was living before. Now I live a little central New York. So the winters are obviously very rough, and I was going through some serious seasonal depression because we don't see sun for days. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with my life if I am going to have to stay inside the house during these dreary winter days? So that's kind of how I got into doing a lot of crafting, doing a lot of adult coloring, and since then I just haven't stopped. Another reason as to why I really got into this is because I wanted to stay off my phone, okay? And I wanted to really just direct my attention towards something which was more calming than anxiety. How do I say this? Like something which causes more anxiety and more negative energy. I wanted like negative energy out of my life because life itself is hard. And when you watch the news, when you watch some of these TV shows, like it's just negative energy, because negative energy, I feel like, sells, right? So that's why social media, all of this, a lot of the things that they show, it's very negative. And I really needed to surround myself with things which were bringing me joy and not dragging me even more than the weather itself, and then a combination of just nonsense on social media. So that is the reason as to why I really got into this. It has really helped my mental health. I also do daily journaling. I have a devotional every morning. I take at least 20 minutes of my time to just, read a devotional and journal out everything that I have been feeling, and that's been really helpful. So this new journaling / coloring stuff is really helping calm my anxiety. And if you yourself are an anxious person and you get trigger was the word I was looking for before, get triggered by the stuff that's just out there in the world. And I'm not saying don't be mindful of things happening in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is, some of these things online can be so triggering and just not good for you, and it just keeps you in a negative space. So that's the reason as to why I started getting into this arts, crafts, and coloring stuff. Okay, my style of coloring. So when I first was introduced to coloring, you know, obviously a lot of these colorists on the YouTube community, they are using, you know, very intricate designs. And then I was like, okay, this is too much. I have one intricate book, and that is by Joanna Bashford. And I'll talk a little bit more about how I have started coloring more in her books, because I have more recently. So I got that book, but I was like, I don't know, you know, this is taking a lot of time. And I do like giving time to the art stuff that I do. And then eventually I got into color by numbers, and that just changed my game. I loved it. And initially I started with the Color Questopia and Such Theba books, and then I went into like George Tufek's. So those are some of the very good books out there, and really easy, honestly, and you don't have to think much. They tell you what the color is, and then you just go ahead and color. So initially that's how I transitioned. And I bought a bunch of other books from like Ollie's, which I had to declutter because I just wasn't using them. And I gave them to friends, and I actually did an entire video of, you know, my coloring book collection, which I will link when I'm editing this video. So I just gave away a lot of those books, which I was like, you know, I don't like the paper quality, I'm not coloring in them, you know, let me just give it away. So that's what I did. Recently I have been getting more into Teresa Goodrich's books. I have been practicing a lot of you know, pencil techniques as well. So my type of coloring, I do like the cozy / simple coloring, but at the same time I like your mediocre intricate books. The most intricate I probably would be Joanna Bashford's Rooms of Wonder. That's the book I currently have. I have been working on it. I have been practicing some of my skills in that particular book as well, and I've made some progress. So my current favorite illustrators are George Tufek's for sure, because even though it's color by number, it's still pretty detailed, and I've been enjoying working with pencils, gel pens in his books. And of course, you know, Color Questopia, I have a lot of their books. Alexandra Francis is another one. I really enjoyed her color by number book. So I don't like the really simple ones where it's like one piece that you have to color with alcohol marker. I feel like I'm more in the middle. Like, I don't like it too intricate, because some of those really detailed books out there, like some of the mythographic books, I don't like that type of art. Like, I would never do that type of art. And I also don't like, you know, the really block coloring things. So I do have some books from Kokowaya, which I do like. George Tufek. Teresa Goodrich, I really have been obsessing over her art recently, and I probably will, moving forward, collect all of George Tufek's releases and Teresa Goodrich's book, just because they're affordable, and I really enjoy coloring scenes. I enjoy coloring scenes. I enjoy coloring patterns. I do not so much enjoy coloring people. That's another thing I've kind of learned about that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I am a budget colorist, I guess. The reason for that is I don't like spending a lot of money in general. I just have some other expenses currently that I am working on. I live on my own. I live in upstate New York. It's expensive to live up here. And, you know, every time there's like a budget option, which is good quality, I will snatch it, because I like to save my money, and I'm sure some of you guys that are watching this also like to save money. So a lot of the things that I currently use, some are from the Dollar Tree, and others are like, you know, these Chinese Amazon brands of pencils. I do not have the Prismacolors. I don't have the Ohuhu markers. Although the Ohuhu pencils, which is a set of 72, I don't think they're priced that bad. So I may consider getting that in the future. But Color is one of my absolute favorite color pencil brand. I think they do very well on the Joanna Bashford paper quality, and I just love working with them. I have been using it, you know, since I started coloring, and I just love it. It's budget friendly, and it's definitely good for beginners in my opinion. So that's a little bit about what I enjoy and how I started coloring. Okay, some of the other, you know, illustrators I really want to try and that are not color by number books is Elise Brienne. She is on Amazon. She is a private business owner. I watch Elise Brienne's channel. She does have a YouTube channel. She's very entertaining. I love watching her. And she has a small business. Although her books are more on the expensive side, I do think that I really enjoy her aesthetic. And, you know, it's a lot of florals, and I just love that aesthetic. That country aesthetic is what I go for. That's why I like Teresa Goodrich and George Tufek's as well. Joanna Bashford, I do want to get some of her other books. I think I really enjoy her particular style as well. As you can see, there's a pattern here. I'm liking all of the country slash scene slash floral things. And then Eri is a Japanese illustrator, I think, and maybe Rita Berman. So I have them saved, you know, in my list, and at some point I do want to get their books, just not right now because I did buy some books recently and I want to enjoy coloring in them first. And finally, I want to talk about some of my favorite YouTubers that I am inspired by. My Colorful Country Life, she does some amazing job with coloring and teaching you coloring techniques, so I really love her channel. She also makes charts, you guys, for conversion from Prismacolor to more affordable, you know, pencils. She's done Color, she's done Artex, a lot of different brands. So I would definitely recommend her channel if you're really wanting to get more into color pencils. And Shell's Coloring Journey, that's another one I'm really inspired by. Pamela's passion for pencils. She hasn't really posted much recently, but I do watch some of her old videos to kind of learn techniques. And then Colorfully Optimistic, she's also one of my favorite YouTubers. They're all great artists. They do such a good job. And for an amateur like me, you know, I like to learn these types of things. So that was basically the intro for this channel. I will be doing hauls. I will be doing, you know, maybe color alongs. I'm not quite sure. I think the next video I do want to talk about my coloring planner, which is right here. I recently did a haul from Temu showing you guys, you know, what I got from Temu, Dollar Tree slash Hobby Lobby for coloring and, you know, junk journaling and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this channel, and let's keep growing. Take care. Bye.